Well, hey, and welcome to another episode of Beetle Dustino coming at you again today with yet another video. And we're going to talk about one hand clapping, and we got the official answer now. I think this is how it is. But, anyways, let's see the intro. So, yeah, I went to One Hand Clapping, the film, the other day. I went to the Sunday, the 29th of September. Did I get that right? Yeah, the 29th. Yeah, it was the 29th of September. I went to it was in St. Louis Park, Minnesota, kind of the Minneapolis suburbs there, and at the Marcus Theater West End. Really kind of a cool complex there with everything. Had a great brunch kind of before we went to it and everything, and went and saw the film. Got the honor to meet one of my subscribers and a guy that's commented quite a bit. So hey Tony, hey there, got a picture of him and I up there. He joined us for the film, and he really enjoyed. We had a great discussion afterwards, and went and did some shopping at. Well, I'll just show it here. We'll be talking about this in just a bit. What I found there, down in the valley in Golden Valley, Minnesota. Pretty famous record shop there in the Twin Cities area. And yeah, just kind of my thoughts on the film. I didn't have huge expectations going into it. I've seen, it seems everybody forgets about it, but on the archive collection, for the Band on the Run archive, the very first archive, one of the DVD features was the One Hand Clapping film, which everybody seems to kind of dismiss or something. I don't know, or totally forget that they've seen it. I don't know. I've seen a couple other reviews about the film, and they acted like it was the first time they saw it, and I'm kind of shocked because these are other YouTubers and Beatles fans that I've been watching for years that I thought, for sure they would know this. I've got 3 copies of it, as a matter of fact, because I've got the super deluxe or whatever edition of it that I just recently got. I've got the 2 CD, 1 DVD version. I've got the 2 CD, 2 DVD version, and I'm 3 of the 4 versions you can get with the DVD, which features that one hand clapping. The other one's a promo one, an advanced copy promo. But it seems like everybody forgets that the film has been out there officially too, and that's kind of weird. But I was really going to this just excited. I had an opportunity to go see one of these Beatles films. I know there's been the Get Back the Rooftop performance. There's been the Concert for George was another recent one that was just out with the theatrical run. And, these never come my way. So it's kind of tough for me to get out to see them. And it just worked out great. Right now, I had some time off I could use. I had some rewards points for a hotel I could use, which happened to be just right by the theater. So that was great. I didn't have to go driving all over the cities, finding parking at all kinds of crazy places and that. And, I was right there. So, really kind of great that, I could just have a nice relaxing morning and, see a nice matinee and then head out of town for the weekend. So, yeah, just, really fun weekend. I'm kind of starting to sound like it's more just how my weekend was, but, it was just a really fun weekend. And, I really did enjoy the film. It was cool seeing it in a theatrical setting. Even though they really didn't clean up the film, but getting to hear the sound of it in a theater type setting, it was good, but it did disappoint a little because I saw me and Mr. Mayo's review on his experience with the film, and he said that they didn't turn the volume up very loud, and I would say the same with the theater I was in. It didn't seem like I kept wanting to go through the show. Like I doubt there was anybody in the projectionist booth, but hey, turn it up, crank it up a little here. It just didn't seem loud enough. And the only time I ever got, because I'm thinking, they'll have the Dolby Atmos where you hear, stuff bouncing all over speaker to speaker. The only time I ever got that was during 1985, towards the end of the song there when Paul was just doing those type things. You could hear it kind of bouncing throughout the theater. And that was cool because Tony made a comment on that too after the show. He said that was the only time he noticed it too. So that was kind of funny that we both kind of noticed it at the same time there. I went there with a buddy of mine. He said the same thing. That was the only time he ever noticed the like crazy surround sound type setups there. The sound was cool, but not totally what I was expecting either, I guess. One nice thing, I loved the intro that Paul did coming into it, that he recorded this brand new intro, 2024 Paul, as everybody's been saying, kind of greeting everybody at the theater. And, he comes out and, hi, everyone. And I went, hey, Paul. I got a good laugh out of the audience that was there. Again, I was kind of sad about that too. I wasn't expecting it to be totally like packed, but I think I counted 11 of us in that theater. And I know that going into the showing, I know that that particular theater had it listed for Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I pre-ordered my tickets right away, so somebody was locked in for that Sunday show already. I noticed, I was just kind of checking again, like kind of seeing, because you could see if somebody pre-bought the seats, how many seats were taken, and just curious, what nights was more popular on this. The Sunday just worked out best for me, so if I'm going to drive over to the cities, I want to go do a couple other things, and Saturday seemed to me and the fact there was a Sunday matinee, I could go to that, just hit the road afterwards and not get super late home, being that it's about 5-hour drive from there. But, so yeah, I noticed that they took out the Friday and the Saturday showing at some point. It was just the Thursday and the Sunday showing. So that was kind of sad that they didn't have that, because not just for, the fact of, what's going to happen with Paul and One Hand Clapping, is that going to affect stuff, but the other Beatles too. And in the broader spectrum of it, just kind of specialty film like this, which is just kind of cool. We get nothing like that in my area. And just the fact that I got to go participate in, kind of a limited run film theatrical release was kind of cool. Another thing I was a little disappointed with, and I kind of was expecting it because Andrew Dixon had his review out right away, and I messaged him and asked, did they do any swag? Because I noticed he didn't mention anything. Where Concert for George, I think there was a little, at least poster or something you got. Rooftop concert, there was posters and little other knickknacks. I thought that would be a cool thing too, and I was hoping they were going to do something like that, since it seems like all these they have been recently. And no, there was no swag, nothing. So as a matter of fact, the only type of swag we got, physical anything, and I mean, even this is pathetic, but there's my ticket from it, I guess. So, but yeah, and it's nothing fancy. It's Paul McCartney. But anyways, yeah, whatever. So I'll save that with my One Hand Clapping album, or if they ever release the DVD, I'll put that in there just so I got it, even though it's, whatever. But at least I got something out of it, huh? It was fun, kind of the funny moments, everybody laughing along with each other, kind of that. I know the line in there about Paul talking about, once he hits 45, we'll see what's going to go on. And he's like, I'll just keep doing this till the day I fall over or whatever. And look, he's living by those words, and I know everybody gave a good chuckle on that, because I think we all knew sitting in that those 11 people in there. I know my buddy wasn't the biggest Beatles fan. He's into music like this, but he isn't like a huge, massive fan. But he at least gets it. But the other 9 people in there with us, I know were totally fans. So I guess that's one thing. Another thing that happened too in my theater, just kind of to report on this, anything that was kind of unique or interesting about it, we sat there and we're watching, everybody was chatting pretty much before the show started, so I didn't even pay attention to the previews, if there were previews even played. I like trailers and that. One thing with Marcus Theaters that, we some of my other buddies in that, as we were kind of approaching the day of the film, we're talking about the Marcus Theaters. I'm familiar with them. There isn't any in my town, but not far from here. The next biggest city over is Fargo, North Dakota, and those are pretty much Marcus Theaters there. So I'm familiar with Marcus and that fact. And I was kind of hoping I would go to a Marcus one in the cities, because I know they're pretty prominent there. It's usually AMC or Marcus, I think, kind of in that neighborhood. I would rather go to Marcus than an AMC, believe it or not. I think they're kind of I think they're based out of Wisconsin, if I'm not mistaken. And it's kind of cool because their CEO or whatever comes on before every show after the trailers, and hey, welcome to Marcus Theaters, I'm Greg Marcus, and does a little spiel about popcorn and that, and it's kind of folksy and whatnot, Midwestern definitely. So I think that's why I'm a Midwesterner, so I maybe enjoy kind of that. I've got Wisconsin roots, so I get that too. It's definitely got that Wisconsin feel, even though I'm watching it usually in North Dakota, in this particular case in Minnesota, and so forth and so on. But so I kind of enjoy that. When he came on, they had like a screensaver over him, so we already knew something was up. Something was not right. The little screensaver thing bouncing around with some ad for, I don't know, some satellite TV thing or something. I don't know what it was. And then the ad came on. There was an ad for the One Hand Clapping album. You go purchase it, paulmccartney.com, whatever. So they showed the 2 LP record with the exclusive 7-inch EP. They showed the 2 LP record. And then it kind of cut off from there. I guess it was supposed to show the 2 CD version too. And then we just got a blank screen and nothing. No sound, no anything. You could tell it was projecting because you could see the lines, at the edges where the projection was versus the screen. And nothing happened. And we sat there pretty calmly for 5-10 minutes. You could hear a little comments here and there from the groups that were sitting. And finally, there was a group of older gentlemen up a couple rows in front of us, and one of the guys got up and walked out, came back a few minutes later and said, well, I talked to the manager. They said they're working on it. One of the other groups near us, the one guy didn't join until a little bit later, and he comes walking in, said to the ladies he was meeting up with, he's like, I thought I was going to be late, and here I'm buying my ticket, and they're telling me they're having technical difficulties. That was like a few minutes after that one guy got back, and then we sat there for another few minutes, and I'm saying to my buddy, we both used to work IT. He still works IT. I used to. Generally, with this stuff, it's reboot it and see what happens, right?
Hello, IT? Have you tried turning it off and on again? Oh, okay, well, the button on the side, is it glowing? Yeah, you need to turn it on. The button turns it on?
And I'm like, well, we'd at least see the screen change, that they're rebooting it and nothing ever happened, right? We're sitting there, and I kind of joked, that stupid Trump film is out, that Vindicating Trump. I know that was playing there too, and I'm like, well, they're having technical difficulties in the other theaters. They probably want to prioritize that one because those guys will come out and shoot them. Where the Paul McCartney Beatles crowd is pretty calm and cool and laid back, hippie, whatever. So I made that joke, and sorry to get politics dragged into this, but whatever. Anyways, we sat there probably a good 20 to 30 minutes before they finally got the film going, and after the first reboot, it still was a little shaky, but they got it going. We got to go see it. So for an hour and 7-minute run film, we were sitting in that theater for almost 2 hours. It felt like close to 2 hours. I got there pretty early, so I guess I was sitting there pretty early on there. Anyways, that happened. But yeah, overall, I really enjoyed the film, and I thought it was great. And I knew because of Andrew Dixon's review, and I knew even that they advertised that there was going to be the backyard session film there added on. So that is something new. The cherry on top, we'll call it. That I was really looking forward to. I was looking forward to the film itself, just for the sound and everything. The backyard sessions really did deliver. I was very happy with the results of the backyard sessions. I really enjoyed it. Everybody, the whole audience seemed to really enjoy the music from that. Everybody was, nobody was singing along or anything, but you could tell we were a little more in kind of a head bop mode at that point and everything. And, the ambulance going by at the end of the one and so forth and so on. It was fun. It was basically fun. And I really feel like that is what made this, even though the overall experience was great too, but that really put the cherry on top and made it really worth me driving 5 hours away and staying the night and whatnot. But that was the best bit of the movie, and it did seem to be a little better picture, believe it or not. It still wasn't great, but it seemed to be better. The sound was really good on that one too. But it was great getting a second intro thing from Paul. He came back on, did his little thing about the backyard session too. So, it was cool getting to see Paul up there twice. And I really hope that if ticket sales aren't huge on this, which I got a feeling they maybe aren't, but then again, I wasn't kind of a smaller market theater there, being I was in the Minneapolis, St. Paul suburbs. So who knows if that's anything to say on it. And a Sunday after, matinee, that could be a factor in it too. So who knows on that. But, it was just a fun time. I really enjoyed it. Glad I could meet up with a viewer of mine and, get to meet somebody in person. That was really cool. It was just a good time. And I really hope they do some more Beatles films like this. And now that I know, just a few hours away, I got a hotel that's really close of that theater hosted again. so forth and so on. You know, a hotel that I like, I guess is what I should say. But anyways, after the show there, I said I went to down in the valley, and there's my little bag from it. And I'm going to kind of do a little review on this, because I said when I did my Mill City Sound, knew I was going to be there in a few more weeks, and I was going to plan on down in the valley as my next, let's go to a cool Minneapolis area record shop. Well, I didn't find much. I wasn't that impressed with down in the valley. I'm not going to dismiss their legendary status by any means. Definitely go check them out. But let me get this out of here without making too much noise as I'm talking over it. I'll throw that over there. It was more like Electric Fetus, and I was feeling like it was going to be that way. And Electric Fetus, great place, whatever. Not great if you're into used vinyl like I am. So if you're looking for new stuff and all the other paraphernalia that comes with record shops, sometimes that's your place. And that's exactly what Down the Valley was too. So just another option on that. There are 2 locations. I was thinking about possibly going to the other one, but I'm like, nah, not going to be worth it, because I don't think I'm going to find much more. Anyways, what I did find, I finally got the 12-inch version on black vinyl. I had to double check. I didn't have a Target one here, because who knows, sometimes you might. They didn't have it at a bad price, and I'm like, now that I got the 7-inch black vinyl version, this was one of the only few pieces I was missing. I still need the 10-inch Spotify, I guess, and the 12-inch Japanese release one, which, believe it or not, they did have a copy of that there. So I'll put that little tip out there. If anybody's looking for that, they had a copy. It was twice as much as this, though. So if you're looking for it, be prepared to spend some money. The only other thing that I got, I've been trying to collect the 2009 stereo reissues in just individual form and still sealed in 2023, 2024, since I've been collecting these. And so it's been interesting. And the main key thing I want, besides them being sealed, not stealed, not stolen, I want to make sure that they got the hype sticker. And I got another copy of that. They had Hard Day's Nights in there with the hype sticker. I've been pricing these out on eBay and such, and that price wasn't terrible compared to what I'm seeing. Believe it or not, they're going that expensive or more, so for a sealed copy at least. So and I've got my cool crates I've shown, and I'll do a little update on that eventually, because I have had 1 or 2 others since this one. So I'll do a little update on that eventually to kind of show where I'm going on that, because I'm trying to get all of the sealed since the 2009, not only the stereo reissues, but like, any of the compilations and such that have came out with this new style packaging, the digipack. As everybody says, it's actually a digi sleeve, the trifold, whatever kind of thing with this. They all got the banner. Generally, they've been very consistent keeping the packaging like this. So I'm trying to fill those crates. There's 3 different colored crates, so I'm trying to fill those with sealed versions of all that. So I've got just kind of something to do with the cool crate and kind of collect as an aspect of keeping it collectible, with it being sealed with the hype stickers, so forth and so on. So I'm just trying to fill those up and see what happens on that. So that was what I picked up with that. Yeah, other than that, I guess there's not much to say. I met Tony over there. Him and I went shopping there, chatted some more, was searching for some stuff. I know he said he was finding some individual CDs, but he was debating, do I get the box set that Bear Family puts out? Speaking of which, I mentioned to him there was a Beatles release on that, and he wasn't aware of it. Oh, yeah, there it is. I'll pull that out for him to see here, so I'm sure he'll see this video. Really going off script here. I was going to do this with it, but this is the one, the Beatles Bop, with Tony Sheridan, Beatles Bop Hamburg Days. That is the Beatles release on, Bear Family Records out of Germany. I know he mentioned them several times, but some of the stuff he's looking for has got box sets with the whole album collection of that particular artist. But this is the Beatles release here, Tony. So if you're looking for that, that's what you want to see. And it's a pretty nice release for, I don't know, kind of gray market. I know it is official. Beautiful little booklet with it. Nice and thick booklet, as a matter of fact. I know you're a Beatles fan, and you might want to add that to your collection there. So that's what it is. But anyways, I'm going to get wrapping up, as I feel like this has went way longer than I was expecting it to. And yeah, I really did enjoy my weekend there. I had a great time. Went to some breweries, had a good time. Really visited with an old friend of mine that we don't get as much chance to see each other as we'd like. Great chance to spend the weekend with him. He came to the film with me. We went out the night before, going to the breweries and stuff, and hanging out and talking, and it was a good time. So overall, I had a really great weekend. One hand clapping was a great way to add it on there. And yeah, I kind of joked about this at the beginning, but I made a video way before talking about, is one hand clapping, is it this, which they did kind of show in the film there too, or is it this, which 2024 Paul did this right away. And I did catch 1974 Paul was doing this while they were filming the film there a couple of times. So I think that is the official answer there. Is that is how one hand clapping works. So there we go. It does kind of make a noise somewhat, but not much. All right. Anyways, I'm going to get wrapping up, but before I do that, I'm going to thank all my subscribers, and thanks to any new subscribers. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do, and do hit the notification bell so you know when I got new videos coming out. Also, please give the video a like. It really does help out the channel. And like I always say, if you have stuck around to this point, you must like it. So please give it a like and do leave a comment. I love having a discussion with everybody. Let me know your thoughts on the one hand clapping film. Did you go out and see it? Are you hoping they put out a DVD, Blu-ray release? Probably Blu-ray, I suppose, nowadays. But I don't know if they need to with the picture quality on that. I guess the sound would be really good on Blu-ray versus DVD. But anyways... Are you hoping for that? What was your thoughts on the film? Let me know in the comments below there. All right. But I'm going to get totally signing out. I am Beetle Dustino, signing out.